Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth, I really don't like that intro.
Well, then work on it.
Because I feel like I have to say and something from something here as well, but I'm not from a thing anymore.
So
I'm
what
done,
are you?
I'm done with being from a thing.
All
I'm
right.
just Seth.
All right.
I'm just
Okay.
I'm just a guy. I'm just a Seth from the video that you're watching here. But now I feel weird like I'm saying here unnecessarily because they know because they're watching me. I'm right here already.
Welcome to Markwood Men's Breakfast Club.
Good morning.
So, we wrapped things up last week, and this is the same evening we're recording this. We wrapped it up and didn't say what we thought about that tobacco, which
As we do.
I know, which was a peppermint.
It was Peppermint Mocha.
Yeah.
It was from Steve.
Wait, yeah, Steve. And
But
Steve,
blended by...
Hold on, I got the note here. Blended by...
Eric Smokes a Pipe.
Eric Smokes
From
a Pipe
YouTube?
from YouTube.
That was delightful.
We both really like that. So
Yeah.
well done, and thank you for sharing that.
The peppermint was weird in a really great way. Like, I don't know that I can't recall smoking a tobacco that had a peppermint flavor that there was peppermint.
Right.
It was peppermint.
Well, and there was that touch of mocha, that little bit of chocolate. And usually chocolate-flavored tobaccos either taste nothing like chocolate or they taste like chocolate liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good. I mean, if that's what you have in it, you use just the right dosage of it. So, well done, and thank you for sharing. So, we're going to open up our next package, and this would be next to last package that came to us for Tobacco Advent. That's huge. Extra bonus points for the first That's What She Said in the comments below. Alright. What do we got here?
I got you. Oh, my friend.
What?
This is... It says, hello again. This is Dan from deep South Texas, or as Seth would say, Dan from Mexico. I know you had asked how deep is deep South Texas, and I like the response Seth gave. So Seth pretty much had it right when he said Mexico. I'm about a 10-minute drive away from the border, right at the bottom of Texas. Well, I'm sending you another tobacco, one that I enjoy, and I hope you all enjoy as well. I don't know if you've had enough tobacco or not for Tobacco Advent, but if not, this should help you along. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. P.S. I think I'm going to rename Clark's Mixed Tobacco to Churros as Seth's recommendation. Just had one question. Do I have to pay him some royalties? The answer is yes. Thank you, Daniel. That's awesome.
All right, so what we are...
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you as well.
What we're smoking here is Dunhill Early Morning Pipe, and it's a little dry. That's our fault.
Yep.
Because it's been a while. And as we selected our pipe for the day, I grabbed this Country Gentleman, and Boy grabbed a Country Gentleman, and he's like, what in the world is going on here? So check this out. We are holding them at the same distance.
Twinsies.
Okay, look at the difference in the size. And just so you know, it's perfectly normal. These are hand turned. A lot of folks don't know that, but many of the shapes that Missouri Meerschaum produces are turned on a lathe with a chisel. And so they vary in size, and they want to get as big of a bowl as they can, but they have to get down through the fuzzier part of the pipe to get of the corn to get to that. And so sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. We do get folks that'll ask us, can you make sure you send me a red one, a white one, a large one, a small one? These have the exact same diameter bore, and now you're smoking a big one. What are you doing? That's the same. That's about the same size as this one.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit bigger.
What happened?
So, well...
What happened to that other one?
Well, I mean, it's just so tiny.
But it's exactly the same.
You're right. It is exactly the same. It is exactly the same. But this one just had a better curve.
All right, I agree. So this one we have upgraded. with a Danish bit, and this Danish bit has the official Aristocob bend. We developed that a long time ago. All of the Missouri Meerschaum filtered pipes, this particular stem they call the filter bit, have a kind of an aggressive bend in them, and I don't care for that. And so I started taking straight Danish bits and giving them just a slight bend, and I like that shape. And Missouri Meerschaum now does that with their Danish bits.
So you
can get that from me or from them.
There are videos on the Aristocob channel that show how to do that.
How to bend your own, yeah.
If you want to do that, it just involves microwaving some water and getting the bit hot and putting the bend in it.
Yeah.
So check those out if that's something
it's
that interests
the
you.
Aristocob Hot Water Method.
Is that the title of the video?
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
So that's last week. We ended off by discussing how scarcity makes us want things more, but it doesn't change the way things taste.
Bet you want a big corncob pipe or a small corncob pipe now.
That's right. And that conversation really dovetails right in with something that I noticed, and I started noticing it last night. I ended up going to a couple of different stores around town yesterday. Went to the grocery, went to Target, went to a bookstore. Every single store I went into had this product, and it's one that I'm familiar with.
Gas station Sheets has got it.
That's not surprising. Yeah, this product, one that I'm familiar with, but not in North Carolina. It has never been in North Carolina that I've noticed, and now it was everywhere. And in fact, until a couple of years ago, wasn't even allowed in the United States.
Well, the version that's sold everywhere else in the world is still not allowed in the United States.
Right.
What are we talking about, boy?
Well, I saw it today. I just had to pick one up. Talking about Kinder eggs, I think. This is a Kinder Joy. And I don't know how this is different.
So the official Kinder egg is called a Kinder Surprise.
Got it.
Okay, so the Kinder Surprise egg. Now, what's different here?
This does have a surprise toy inside.
But let's talk about what's different. The law states in the United
Whoa.
States. Hold on a second. Don't get so excited there, boy.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited.
You cannot have an inedible object enrobed or enclosed in an edible object. So while you can have a toy surprise in a box of Cracker Jacks, that toy is not inside of a popcorn ball, right?
So
Candy
engagement rings inside of...
Yeah, oh no, never put that in like champagne.
Yeah.
So they tried to get around this law. No, they can't, because their fear is that American kids are too stupid. They'll eat and choke on the candy.
True.
So they finally found a workaround for the United States.
Well, and those of you unfamiliar in the U.S. who've never seen a Kinder egg, they are a chocolate egg that is a whole egg like a Cadbury, but it's a very thin layer of chocolate and
milk chocolate on the outside,
right.
White chocolate on the inside.
Right, but it's a thin chocolate shell, and on the inside is a capsule that you'd have to be shooting the whole egg into your mouth with your fist to accidentally swallow. And then inside of that capsule is the toy.
The capsule is larger than the smallest size toy that's legally available for purchase. So that capsule is about the size, almost the size of one of those chubby little Fisher-Price people,
right,
from years ago.
You're,
and then that capsule,
it's like trying to
accidentally
shoving this into your mouth.
And then the capsule is very difficult to open. So even
right.
if a kid got a hold of that, and there's chokeable objects inside of that. So anyway, this is how they've solved the problem. So they've made this egg a two-part container. One part contains the toy, and the other part contains the candy. And the candy is very unique too. But I love the Kinder Egg toys. So here's the candy.
So it looks like white chocolate with
little cocoa something or other. It's like a crunchy thing. Now, also inside this, or on this, there's a little spoon that you take off, and you use that to eat that. The white chocolate in this is kind of like icing.
Yeah, it's pretty thick. I mean, this little chunk of chocolate coconut, or whatever this is, crunchy chocolate, looks like a choking hazard. And the little spoon looks like, well, I don't know, I'm trying to get it out without dropping it.
Oh, look at that. So it's got a dark, I don't know if it's milk chocolate in the bottom, but a dark
outside.
chocolate, and then a white chocolate, and then that little candy ball inside.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I had one of these probably 2 years ago, just outside of San Francisco, and I guess it must have been in a test market because I hadn't seen it since.
All right, so what I have always loved about these, when Dad would smuggle them home, is that the toys are legit. Usually, they are cool little things. So inside here, we have what appears to be a bicycle that can be assembled. So here's
look at the bike.
Here's the bike frame. We've got wheels. So let's see.
I'll hold the shell.
You can show off what's in there.
All right, so what he's got in here is there's an instruction sheet, and the instruction sheet usually has a QR code on it.
Looks like I'm missing a piece.
Yeah, it does. It has a QR code here that often has some more information that you can get. You can download the app, you can play some games. There's games, but again, there's instructions. You got the fork of the bike there. It also, in here, happens to have a little cone that you can assemble. And this must be part of a game that you can play.
I mean, that is so... Except I'm a dummy. I did it upside down. Not for children, guys. There we go. So the front wheel, the handlebar can articulate. It's probably backwards, too. It's fine.
Can you shift gears?
Yeah, and you backpedal to brake. So it's legit bike, guys.
Hey, what are you doing with it way over there? That's cool.
I mean, and, you know, the egg was... I saw various prices. I ended up overpaying for it because it was kind of last minute. I saw it as cheap as about 75 cents. I think I paid about $1.25.
And I saw them as much as $1.99.
Download the free Magic app. So I bet this looks like it's got activities and things. Mm-hmm. Probably akin to the
Cracker Jack.
The Cracker Jack, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's got puzzles on the back, the cones. It's got instructions for how to ride the bike with your fingers. You put your fingers here on this thing, and you can just shred it up.
Got to give some credit to the folks at Kinder. I mean, they sell a lot of different chocolates and candies over, well, everywhere else but here. And they're all good. They're tasty. But their surprise egg has been the hit. Kids all over the world have enjoyed those things. Even big kids that you know. And yeah, so what I do whenever I travel either to Canada or over to Europe, I'll take along with me a couple Ziploc freezer bags, and I will shell the eggs, put the chocolate into one bag. I used to not bring the chocolate home. I didn't care for it, but my daughter likes it. Put the little capsules in another bag, and then put them into my checked luggage, and no problem then. You all right?
You know, I was reading listening to a podcast, and where someone was talking about how companies can create moments for their customers, and he was talking about how when we remember events, we often don't remember a timeline of the events from start to finish. So if you think of a vacation you went on, your most memorable vacation, you probably don't remember the whole trip start to finish, but what you remember are these moments of highlights throughout. And he said businesses can create moments of highlight.
Yeah. And
he was talking about, as an example, the Magic Castle Hotel in Los Angeles.
It's a restaurant.
Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, Magic Castle. It's a restaurant. It's invitation only by members who are magicians.
Not that Magic Castle. This is a hotel.
Oh.
So that is the Magic Castle. But
I was supposed to be interviewed by the for the podcast. Gentleman's Scofflaw,
Mm-hmm.
Gentleman's Scofflaw podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and Jordan Crowder, who is one of the hosts of that podcast, and brother of Steven Crowder, if you've ever seen Steven Crowder on YouTube. He contacted me right before, like the week before we were supposed to do the podcast, and he said, we're going to put it off because I got an invitation to go to the Magic Castle. It's like, dude,
Cool.
you're doing it. I mean, he was
That's
actually,
cool.
he was calling asking if that was okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I have always wanted to do that. Of course
Yeah.
it's okay. Coming to LA in a couple of weeks, maybe we could work this out.
I think this is different. He didn't mention that. That's where my brain went immediately.
Okay.
He said it's a hotel.
All right.
He said, now close your eyes and imagine what you think a hotel called the Magic Castle looks like.
Okay.
It doesn't look anything like that. It's a 1950s apartment complex that has been turned into a bit of a motel.
I
almost.
had an apartment complex, but I got
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, it was lots of therapy. He said it looks like a motel or just a normal run-of-the-mill hotel. It is the second highest rated hotel in Los Angeles, and higher than the Ritz-Carlton on ratings. And the reason is they create these moments for their customers. An example he gave, he said, out in the courtyard, and it's a courtyard of a 1950s apartment building with a small pool that's probably smaller than your neighbor's pool. He said, out there in the courtyard, there's a red phone on a wall. No signs or anything. But if you walk up to the phone and pick it up, someone answers immediately and says, this is the Popsicle concierge. And they bring out popsicles, white gloved. He said that you have a butler bringing out popsicles to your table
I
side
want a popsicle delivered by a butler.
at your pool. They have he just described it as normal popsicles. They do these things for all of their guests all around. He said, what many businesses do is they set the standard, right? You have to have a bed that's comfortable. You have to meet certain base level expectations. And then what they do is they try to go down and figure out what things are doing wrong and make those better. Instead of taking the baseline and figuring out ways to make things astronomically better. And
Take the average stuff and make it better.
yeah. And so this nothing hotel is second highest rated because people walk away with these memories. That is what Kinder does with this. Am I going to think chocolate? Ooh, Kinder. Maybe not. It might not be my first chocolate choice, but man, this is an experience.
Yeah.
This is cool.
It makes
for
memories.
a buck something. It makes memories. It's a moment, especially if you've got kids.
Yeah,
if you've got people.
I was just in a conversation. We've got some training coming up next week where we've got a bunch of folks coming into town. And here in North Carolina, there are several manufacturers of hinges and drawer slides. And we're going to visit a couple of them. We're going to go to their factory and spend some time learning about hinges and drawer slides. And I was meeting with one of the suppliers this week, and he was saying, hey, when it comes to the machinery, there's special, basically, drill presses that'll drill for European-style hinges. Each hinge, the door has to be drilled with 3 doors, the biggest, or 3 holes for each hinge. The biggest one's 35 millimeters, 1 3/8 inches. Big hole. And he's like, I'm thinking that what we'll do is we'll just demo that, and then I'll have all the pieces already pre-drilled. And then that way we can speed through the class. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're all going to get up, and everybody's going to flip the switch to bring the clamps down, and everyone's going to hold the button to drill the hole, and then they're going to use the same part then to push the thing in place. And he's like, but once you've done one, there's no point doing it again. Right. Once each of them have done one. Because it's so funny in talking to people over the years about what they remember about this class, is they remember, oh yeah, that's the class where we installed hinges.
Push the button and hit.
But it cements something in their head because it's an experience. I mean, you could have a stack of parts already pre-made and have them sit and watch a PowerPoint. I could ship them apart. We could do PowerPoint in a webinar, and there's no point in bringing these people to North Carolina, right? So, yeah, it's important. My challenge is this guy is a different kind of learner than many of the people that'll be in the class.
Right.
So he's the kind of guy who can read the mounting instructions and does read the mounting instructions, and then he's good to go. Right?
Right.
Not everybody works that way.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think of this tobacco?
I like it. It is a English, I believe.
It is.
Which I enjoy. It's a little dry, but that's our fault for waiting 3 months
Well, you know,
to get to it. But I like it, though.
Dunhill surprised me, and in fact, Dunhill taught me in part about how the different tobaccos are smoked by people that smoke tobacco all day long.
Huh.
And like they have a tobacco called Nightcap. And in my mind, oh, that's going to be real mellow. It's a real nice, like drinking sleepy time tea. No, it's a punch in the throat is what it is.
Yeah.
But for somebody who literally smokes a pipe all day long, you're starting to lose that taste, and it's a big old bowl of tobacco.
Yeah.
This is an early morning, it gets you going. There's no special flavoring in it. It's just
It's tobacco.
real tobacco. So yeah, it's good. Thank you for sharing that with us. Mine is out. Anything else you want to share or
No, not
say in this one?
not at this point. I think.
All right. So that's
Dan
it.
from Mexico, thank you for the tobacco.
We enjoyed the south
look
of the
forward to
border
the-
Dunhill tobacco.
The churro royalties.
Royalties.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us once again. And I guess we'll see you next week on Markwood Breakfast Club.
Absolutely. See ya.